All right, here it is. New op day on June 22nd, 2015. Here we are with another Sell a House Wholesale Real Estate training, number 130 actually. And first of all, a quick apology for missing last Friday. Once again, all really kind of comes down to the fact that we have some time freedom, some financial freedom, not to the level we want yet, but enough to where we can have, be, and do anything we want to a certain extent. And Friday turned out to be a day that we opted to pass on. So no information for you on Friday. Sorry about that. But we're here today. Beautiful new op day. Beginning of a new strong session here in Phoenix, Arizona, with a balmy kind of a morning. Going to be hot. Second day of summer. Going to be hot and sticky, I think, a little bit today. So going to have to dress appropriately and hunt for the AC today. But that's not going to happen. Got too many other things to do out and about in the real world. That's where the money's at. Can't hide in the AC all the time and make the money. Sometimes you just got to get out there, put a little sweat equity into it. All right, so last Wednesday, we got into lead generation. I know you all love lead generation because it's kind of what wholesaling is all about, isn't it? I'm going to today use this opportunity to kind of break down wholesaling in and of itself through this whole idea of lead generation and all that a little bit differently than what most other presenters are going to give you. Okay, this is sort of my wholesale real estate breakdown as to what this is all about. And like I said, you're going to hear this here that you're not going to hear many other people tell you all this stuff. Okay, so wholesale real estate, right? Lead generation we talked about Wednesday. Wholesale real estate is lead generation. That's what it's all about. That's what most people think. That's what your impression is given upon you, that it's all about lead generation. But then there's, other people that say, reverse wholesaling is the way to go about it, and building a buyer's list is the way to go about it. And once you have the buyers, then you go find their properties. Well, when you need to go find their properties, what do you have to do? Lead generation. You got to go back to lead generation in order to find the properties to feed the buyers that you spent time building a list of. So lead generation is obviously one of the core elements of wholesale real estate. Because quite honestly, without a deal, what do you have? You got nothing. You can have every buyer in the United States on your list to buy. If you can't get a deal and bring it to them, you ain't making any money. That's the bottom line. So lead generation is definitely the core. Lead generation is definitely a key element here. But the core is definitely leads. No, the core, the heart of wholesale real estate is having deals. The heart of wholesale real estate is to have a property under contract. Because like I said, if you never get a property under contract, you will never make $1 in this business, unless you're doing one of those wholesale sponge programs where you where you just go out and sell all of the other wholesalers' inventory. And that's a system that can work, and that's a system that you can make you money without having to spend money on lead generation. But you're not going to be making big commissions. You might be able to make $500, $1,000, $1,500, $2,000, maybe $3,000 potentially up to maybe 5 by, hawking other people's stuff. So you have to have a lot of volume. This is, I think, sort of where the reverse wholesaling system is all about, is, finding these buyers. So you have to have a lot of buyers, a lot of hungry buyers who are willing to scarf up anything that you can scrounge up and tack a couple $1,000 onto. And you have to be doing a lot of volume. You have to network with a lot you have to network with a lot of wholesalers to get them to send you your product and allow you to go ahead and market to your people to bring them closings. And then on the other hand, you also need to, network with a lot of potential buyers, investors out there who have the cash to buy properties. So you might notice that I mentioned that you have to network a lot there. That's the people business side of wholesale real estate. That's where I'm going to get into the real crux of what wholesale real estate revolves around. All right. Without a deal, without putting property under contract, or without lining up, other people's properties that you can hawk, you not having a deal means no money. Because that's the heart. If you don't have a deal, you're not making any money. You got to have deals to make money. Then you got to have people to sell them to. But how do you get deals? This is where the gap usually lies in people's understanding and ability to be successful at wholesale real estate. And that is people skills. It's you. Okay? It's me. It's you. It's the person who is doing this. It's your ability to talk to people, to get out there and talk to the seller and negotiate with people and negotiate with the seller, and to be able to present your information in a way that is receptive to the seller, and to be able to befriend the seller, to become someone that the seller likes, and to do all of these things on a personal, one-on-one, 90% of the time face-to-face. Sometimes this can be done over the phone, which is awesome, that you can do this, that you actually can do this over the phone, which means that you could potentially do a deal from, sitting on the couch in your underwear with Cheeto stained fingers, because there is ways that but the whole thing is, even on the phone, you have to have or acquire the ability to do all these things, to interact with other human beings, with flesh and blood and bone, living, breathing humans. It's not all about doing something on a machine. You can get the machine to do everything for you, to generate your leads, to make your phone ring, but you still got to pick up that phone and talk to that person. That's the core. That's the real crux of what wholesale real estate is all about. You hear us talking lots of times on here that, wholesale real estate is all about, it's not about the real estate. It's not about property. It's about sales and marketing, right? Well, marketing is your lead generation. That's all of the materials and things that you're putting out there that's getting people to call you on the phone. The sales part, that's you. That's you. So if you have the real estate, the deals, that's the heart, because without a heart, without the deals, you're not selling nothing. You're not making any money. You have the marketing. That's the attraction. That's what's bringing you the deals. That's what's pumping the blood into, or that's the artery that the blood flows through to the heart to bring the deals. But then you have the sales side. That's you. What's telling that heart to keep moving? That's the mind. That's up here. That's where it all begins. That's where your success in this business really, honestly, truly lies. Okay? Because you can have your phone ring, and unless you have the most motivated seller on the other end of the line who's just so desperate that they have to sell this house right now to whoever, however, don't care, guts to sell it now. And yes, there are some of those out there. And yes, you'll have some of those phone calls where you'll just be like, they'll be wanting to hand you their house practically, and all you have to do is stumble through that conversation. But they don't happen a lot. Okay, most of them are people wanting to know what you can do with them. Most of them are people who are willing to potentially go out and shop around if they don't like what you have to say. So your skills with people, that is the core of your success in network marketing. That's the crossroads. That's what ties it all together. And so how do you become this person, this successful negotiator, this charismatic sort of person who can, win anybody over to their favor? Well, I'll tell you one way that works very well, and is a great place to start. There's these things right here. They're called books. And there's a lot of information, a lot of really good information in books. And if you want to become someone who is a person who can, oh, there's one missing. Oh, no, there it is. A person who can be a powerful negotiator and someone who can, persuade people, and someone who can win friends, I would recommend a couple of books like this. This one I highly recommend as an absolute must. Dale Carnegie is the author. How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is a great book. This will open your eyes to a lot of things in how you treat people right now in your life, because I guarantee you, you're not treating everybody in a way that wins friends and influences people. And you're going to learn that in this book, and you're just going to be like, wow, what a dick I've been. Maybe not, some of you will. There was definitely some moments in there where I was like, gosh, so obvious, and yet something you've never done, and how, using one of my sister's words, rude, of an interactive, of a personable, interactive person have you been in your life? Great, great book. And then you might look for books like this. This one's by Roger Dawson, called The Secrets of Power Persuasion. Everything you'll ever need to get everything you'll ever want. This is a great book too about how to persuade people, because selling is a bad word. Nobody likes that word, selling. Nobody likes to be sold on anything, although we do love to buy. And even when it's time to sell a property, you have to sell them on why they should sell it to you. So you have to be a salesman. Now, being a salesman versus being a persuader is going to you're going to win a lot more favor as a persuader than you are going to win as a salesman. Salesmen bring up that whole ability, conjure up that whole image of hey, this is the product. These are all the benefits. This is that and the other thing. This is the price. This is what we can do for you today. You need to buy now. We're running out of time here. There's a limited supply. All of these pressure kind of sales tactics is what get conjured up in the mind of salesmen. And when you come across with a potential seller as a salesman, quote salesman, somebody who's there to sell them on your idea of buying their house, you can lose them very quickly and they can go sell their house to somebody else. But as a persuader, as someone who knows how to win friends and influence people, someone who can very gently get people to want to sell to you, opposed to, telling them why they really have to and should, that's when you become a salesman. That's when you become a successful real estate wholesaler. That's when you can go out and you can close deals. That's when you can bring home the contracts. That's when you can have the deals that you can sell and make the money. So you can go out and learn all the systems you want. You can learn how to, get the other wholesalers' products to sell to your buyers list that you went out and built. You can learn how to, I better skip that one because that's actually pretty automated. I was going to talk about HUD properties, but that really is an automated system that you don't really have to talk to a lot of people except building a buyer's list on that thing. But that's one that you could easily get around the whole idea of talking with people. But HUD's government, HUD's tied in with the banks and the loan lenders and everything else, and I can tell you right now they've already figured it out. And there's very little profit to be made there as well too. If you're looking for the big dollars, the big profits, you got to go talk to people. Now, so yeah, you could learn, all these systems that are out there in the how to, go out here and market and the how to turn around and sell, right? Those are the two pieces, right? Market for deals, get deals, and sell deals, right? That's the three-piece system to wholesale real estate. Market, get, and sell. So you can market all day long. You can spend buku bucks marketing all day long. You can have yourself set up to be able to sell all day long. But if you can't acquire, if you can't get the deals, none of it matters. So it all comes back down, like I say, to your ability to win friends and influence people, to persuade people, to negotiate people. So get yourself some books. Even if you're already pretty good at this, even if you're getting some deals, I'm telling you right now, hone up on these skills and you'll get more deals. You'll get better deals and you'll get them more often. So that's where I wanted to go with this today, was you. Now that you know that it really comes down to your ability to get deals, what it takes to get deals as far as negotiating and talking to people and all that stuff, and that you really, even if you can do 90% of it from the couch, you still got to pick up that phone and be able to talk to people too. And if you just don't have the talent and the skills to talk to people, like I said, then you have to wait around for that, 1 in 100 deal that comes along. And or maybe it's not 100, maybe it's a little bit less, but still 1 in 50 deals that comes along. You really have the money to put out to wait for that 1 in 50 deal that's going to come along, that's going to actually, have that person on the other end of the line that's really just can't wait to give you their property, that you could be the most buffooniest of buffoons on the other end and not have a clue of what to say, and they're still going to sell you your property as long as you get around to saying, well, all we need to do is send you a contract over and you have a deal. most people can't wait for that. Most people need to have action happen right away for them to be successful in this business, and for them to stick with this business, and for them to do something in this business, and for them not to quit and move on. So what it really comes down to, what wholesale real estate really comes down to, if you're looking for success at this, is your willingness to learn. And this now all turns back around to the self-development side of things. Your willingness to learn, your willingness to be teachable, your willingness to accept change, and your willingness to actually apply change. You can read these books all day long. You can read How to Persuade People. You can read How to Win Friends and Influence People. You can read them all day long, all month long, all year long, over and over and over again. But if you're not willing to accept these concepts and apply them into your life, they're not going to make any difference to you. It's not going to change anything. You're going to still be out there, buffooning it up and not getting the deals, except for the, one in however many that comes along that is, like I said, so simple that a caveman could do it as far as putting the deal together and getting a contract to sell. People are fickle. People are different. Everybody's unique. And not that you're ever going to know, the personalities of anyone, or I mean, of everyone on this planet, because they are a wide variety of bunch. But, knowing sort of what drives people, as long as you know what drives people, you can get to that information and pull that out of them. And that's really what wholesale real estate's all about, is figuring out what's driving these people. Why do they need to sell this property, realistically? And a lot of people don't want to tell you that. It's like none of your business, or, what does that have to do with anything? So getting the whole motivation, so to speak, out of them it takes a little bit of negotiating, a little bit of communication talent on your part. So learning these skills is the utmost key to successful wholesale real estate. I can't emphasize enough that if you really want success in this, I would even suggest, before you go out and spend $1 on a program on learning the how to, as far as, how to get leads coming in and how to sell leads and all that. Before I even did that, I would suggest that you go out and get some books all about, becoming a communicator with people and persuading people and winning friends and influencing people and doing those types of things, and study up on that a little bit. Give yourself, hey, give yourself a 3-month window at least to get an idea in your head about some of these things, and then go get a program and say, okay, now how do these pieces work? And because most people don't put the 2 and 2 together, kind of a thing. They see, okay, great, I do all this stuff and I'll have deals coming in, and then all I got to do is this stuff and I'll be selling them and making money. See, that they see the 2-piece system, and they miss that third element, the sort of gear that ties it all together. And so, and not realizing that is them, it's their thing. So that's where they fail, because they have the system. All I got to do is this, and I'll get deals, and then boom, all I got to do is this, and I'm selling deals and I'm making money. But it just doesn't tie together that they have to be the one. They're the glue that puts these pieces together. And it's all in your communication skills as to how successful you put the 2 pieces together. That's what it really comes down to. So with that, everybody, I want to say, with our system at the Property Noodlers, yes, communication is of the utmost importance. because we do have to communicate with a lot of people. However, if you're willing to go out and buy a book, we're willing to take you on and say, just do this little piece right here. Get comfortable doing this one little piece right here, communicating this little piece right here. So we start you out in communications, but we start you out with just the tiniest little piece of communication so you can get good and comfortable with that piece. Then we give you another piece, then another piece, and then another piece, and another piece, and another piece, until you are a qualified, skilled communicator and negotiator, and you are creating success at whatever level you want. The good news is, even with just that one little piece, you're creating success for yourself, because that one little piece is a key element for us that is something that we need other people doing, because it takes the most time and physical activity and generation, which we need to remove ourselves from that, which is why we offer that out to you guys, to be able to come in and be that person who takes that little more time-consuming piece off of our plate, even though it's a very, very, very small piece, takes it off of our plate so that we can focus on the other pieces that need to be taken care of as well too, to make sure that we get these deals from, you know, we did all this and now we have these deals coming in, to get them from coming in to going out and being sold and actually turning into paydays. So if you're interested in that, if you're interested in being a communicator, send us an email at propertynoodlers@gmail.com. Tell me you just went out and bought this book and you want to wholesale some real estate, and I'll be more than happy to sit down with you and talk about where you're at, what you want to do, and get you started as a property noodler. So with that, everybody, that's my take on what wholesale real estate is all about. As I mentioned, I don't think you're going to have many other people express with such intensity the importance, where the true importance lies. I think most other people are going to give you all the focus upon the how, on both ends of the how, and not that crux, not that glue, not that piece that ties it all together in the middle, which is you right here. And you can go that route, or you can go our route. Either way, we are done here today. So, O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth, consisting of the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever end I might desire. All right, everybody, have a great, strong session. We'll see you back here on Wednesday with some more powerful wholesale real estate.